Good morning, here's Kramer's Corner with the daily technical update. It is Thursday, the 22nd of February. It is the day after Nvidia released earnings. It did it in aftermarket, and probably everybody knows about this. So I have indicated here on the daily chart where it closed in the aftermarket at 735 after trading a little bit higher. What will be interesting here today and tomorrow, where will it close? At what closing price will we see Nvidia to end? So here on the weekly, as you can see, I highlighted here, a circle here. It's actually a doji evening top and reversal pattern in the making. It can be cancelled today if we are trading higher, and also tomorrow. So tomorrow on the weekly will be really key. Where will we end the day or the week? And today also, of course, where will we end the day today? So that's going to be interesting. We'll keep an eye on that. And I will send out an update on Nvidia pre-US market later today. Hang Seng, moving on to indices. Hang Seng has moved higher in early session, this session this morning. And there's room up to around 17,135. You can see here on the weekly chart we are still in a downtrend. So on the medium term, but on the short term, we have established an uptrend. RSI closed above 60, and if we can get back above 17,135, then there's room up to 18,000. But let's talk about that when we get up to the 17,135, or if we get that up there at all. On the S&P 500, well, it closed on a positive note yesterday, together with the Dow Jones, by the way, where Nasdaq was a little bit lacking. However, we are still above the lower rising trend line here on the S&P 500, and as we can see, pre-market, it is also taking a little bit higher, 0.7%. So we are actually taking out, very close to taking out previous peaks. Nasdaq 100 closed just with a few cents above its support at 17,478. You can see here closed just 17,478.91. So very narrow close above the key short-term support. Pre-market, we are also taking higher on Nasdaq 100, up by about 1% at the moment. European markets are jumping this morning, probably also helped quite a bit by Nvidia, but other European stocks has been lifted, like ASML in the Netherlands. Here we have the EUROSTOXX 50, and we can see a nice jump higher. And on the weekly chart, we are on the way to 4,872. That's the 1764 projection of this larger correction we saw here, and that's what we're going to talk a little bit more about on the other indices. But it is eyeing 5,000. Well, we get there is of course debatable, but it is not unlikely with this trend moves we have at these trending moves we have here. Jump finally for DAX, that has been struggling really for upside momentum, jumping higher, also moving higher above the 138.2 projection. 17,700 seems to be having its eyes focused on that. There's no divergence on the weekly now, so we could move higher in coming weeks. I still believe, and I believe that for quite some time, that market will be in bullish mode until late February, early March, possibly a little bit longer. The Amsterdam index also jumping nicely higher. Of course, ASML helped it quite a bit. You can see here we are touching the 1764 projection of this correction here, just below 860 level at this morning. But we are in a fairly strong uptrend. However, short term, the RSI is not really supporting, but medium term it is. Benchmark markets, just very quickly, also jumping a little bit higher, but not that convincing. You see it's also lagging here. It can't really get up to that 37.42 key resistance for further upside momentum. It's really struggling there. On the other hand, CAC 40, really strong upwards move touching the 7,900 this morning, could potentially move higher. Let's have a look at the futures and the CFD right there, trading around 7,875, jumping around that level there, but we are in an uptrend, and there's still RSI divergence, however, but we should trust the trends. All right, finally on SMI, the Swiss markets. It's not really following through with the other markets, sliding back lower here after being rejected at the previous peak. So expect a test of, I think I will just remove this for a little second, possibly a test of the 11,333 once again. Euro dollar has found its mojo and has resumed uptrend after breaking this upper falling trend line. It merely just a guideline. However, it has broken higher, but it's not really confirmed by the RSI 60 here. It needs to break above that or close above RSI 60. However, we are testing the 38.2 retracement. We are also testing the 55 moving average, as you can see here. So there's a little bit of resistance. I expect a little bit of setback, but if it really can get its act together, well, then there's potential up above 109, 109.70. But it will be a little bit of a struggle. However, we have the 100 moving average supporting it, 200 also turning around now. So maybe we should see a higher euro dollar in the coming days. It certainly does look like it, especially if we can get the RSI back above 60, then it has resumed uptrend and confirmed it. Cable seems to be breaking its deadlock, currently testing 127 at the moment. If it can close above the gap, above the cloud here, then and above the 127, well, then we are looking at 127.75 at the moment. Next, and at the moment we have the RSI 60 testing the RSI testing the 60 retracement level, and if it does close above, well, then there is further upside for cable. On the dollar yen, trading sideways, can't really get direction here. 149.75 is the support level, but if it closes below these lows here, then it's probably over for at least short term. Don't notice that, but it's not really moving much. There is room up to 152 on dollar yen. Euro yen, on the other hand, is really on fire, moving higher. Has just reached the 138.2 projection at 163.30. I think we will see a move to the 164 level, which is the previous peak here in November, and also the 161.8 level. So and there's not really much stopping it. RSI above 60, no divergence, indicating we are likely to see higher levels on euro yen. Same picture on Aussie yen, almost has taken out the November peak above the 138 projection, and looking at 99.4 level, which is the 161.8, and maybe it will also start. We will start talking about 100 on the Aussie yen, but a fairly strong move supported by the bullish RSI sentiment. Also sterling yen higher towards 161.8 at 191.25. I think we will see it moving higher. It's very close to cancelling its RSI divergence, and we are in a bullish trend above this upper rising trend line there. On the other hand, we have dollar Swiss that is being sold off. Couldn't really move follow through with this move here, and now back below 100 moving average. The 200 was too strong really to close above. It did twice, but couldn't really follow through. And I think we will see a setback down to let's see here, to around at least the 38.2 retracement at 86.75. That's the key level to look out for right there. And then we have dollar index finally on when we're talking FX, also sell off. Broken below the low rising trend line, testing the 38.2 retracement at 103.13 and the upper part of the cloud. And if we have your dollar higher, then we are likely to see the dollar index possibly dipping all the way down to the 61.8 retracement. But let's see. But if it does take out, and if we get into the cloud here, well, then that is definitely a possibility. Gold is ticking higher and currently testing the 618 retracement at 2,034.35. If it can't really break above, we are just spiked it a little bit. If we can close above and we actually move up to the 786 retracement at 2,048, it is in the cards. But we also need to have the RSI back above 64 upside potential, and then we have some strong resistance here at 2065. It is, if it's being rejected, well, then it will drift lower towards the 2000 level once again. On the silver, that is really basically struggling for upside momentum. But let's see if we can get back above 23.5. Well, then we are looking at 24, and that is really a key level to look out for an upside momentum there, and break the deadlock we are in at the moment. Copper higher, but we have seen so many times that it has failed us for upside momentum. On the energy side, we have WTI crude oil. Just touched the 76.25 support level here, minor support, but the really key one is 75.5 down here. If it takes out that, well, then we are looking at lower levels. Could we have another test at the key resistance at 79.77? That is the real key level to take out for further upside potential. I do believe we will see it, but I need confirmation to feel certain about it. Brent lacking a little bit, so it still needs to get above 84.75 for upside potential. What we saw in the gas markets, and here we have the Henry Hub natural gas contract in New York. We had this bullish engulfing candle here the other day, following through yesterday. Little bit of pause today, but we should. There is upside potential to 192, possibly testing $2, but we are overall in a downtrend. But it's not unlikely that we see these corrections here. We also have the Dutch gas TTF. Dutch gas is 22.85 is the key support, and seems like it's finding support just above 23 euros. And but I think we will see a little bit of test that, and then it's probably also exhausted in the downtrend, at least for short term. Finally, on the US 10-year yields, still stuck in this 420, 430 range. But there is, we are in an uptrend, and there is potential up to 438, 444 in middle of this consolidation-like area here. All right, this was a long one today. Also, a lot of stuff to talk about. I'm signing off from my home office. Talk to you later, and have a nice day.